And welcome back to another video. Today's predictions for England versus South Africa that's taking place this weekend at Twickenham. It's going to be an absolutely epic game. Both teams wanting to prove a point, put themselves on the map, let the Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere know that they are here to make a stand and to show the world that they are on the rise. Obviously South Africa on positive form at the moment, improving slowly but surely, showing a great deal of passion and heart in the game, which is so awesome to see as a South African fan. England obviously having a very poor year, needing to prove a point, needing to show that they are here to also impact the game and show, otherwise they're going to get thrashed this November international season. They've got a tough one. South Africa, New Zealand, Australia and Japan should be absolutely epic games, but they're going to want to prove a point. Eddie Jones needs to prove a point. They're going to have to walk away with at least 2 or 3 wins in order to get the faith, I think, of the English supporters back in them again. Obviously the last time these two teams met was in South Africa. First test, England started off strong and South Africa came back like true champs and showed that they are here to stay and here to show improvement, opposed to a appalling year last year. Second test, very similar. England started off a bit strong and then South Africa totally took over and won the game. Third test was totally drenched in Cape Town. It was wet. The conditions were shocking and they just didn't have it in them, and England obviously capitalised, having more experience in the wet conditions, and they picked up the win, ending the series 2-1. Now obviously in the Six Nations, England ending second from the bottom, which is really poor for them. They're going to want to show up, redeem themselves. South Africa having a pretty interesting rugby championship. I won't say the best, because they lost to Argentina, they lost to Australia, whereas they definitely should have beaten the Aussies, but obviously rightly so lost to Argentina. Obviously having 2 epic contests against the All Blacks, which was truly amazing. Eden Park, the first game in New Zealand, we cannot forget. Obviously a massive win, first win in many years for South Africa. That was truly special. Having lost the end of the game in Loftus, which was truly sad, but it was a great performance, strong performance. That just lost it at the end. They started off dominant and they need to start off dominant against England this weekend, especially the fact that they are at home. So it's going to be interesting. South Africa obviously picking up a win against Argentina in South Africa and Australia in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. So there are improvements. There's a lot of talk of the squads. England getting some injuries, but they generally don't have a bad squad and are definitely on a competitive level to show up and prove a point. They definitely can. On paper they've got quality players who can definitely give us a run for their money. Owen Farrell, as mentioned yesterday, is my player to look out for. He's an intense player, he's hardworking, he's obviously the kicker. There's talk of him playing fly-off opposed to centre, which will be interesting to see him in that position. I think he'll then get more control in the game, which I think is quite smart. I definitely have them there just to give it a go, see what he's like. Now with Owen, obviously, I've got good and bad memories of the man. I found him a bit sulky in South Africa. Obviously they were losing, but definitely he took more leadership role in the third test, which was good to see. He needs to do that again if they are wanting to beat the Springboks this upcoming weekend. As for South Africa, I mean, we have a very good team. I'm very impressed with the team Rassie spoke about. Obviously there's question marks. For me, people are whining about Trevor Nyakane. I think good for him. He deserves a position in. I'm happy for them. If there is one question I do, it's Skulk Brits over Aka van der Merwe. I would have had Aka van der Merwe. He just won the Currie Cup. He had an outstanding Super Rugby season. He's played for the Barbarians. He's played for Racing. Why is he not in the squad? I don't know. Obviously from an international a European level, Skulk Brits has more experience. He's an older chap in the team as well. So maybe Rassie's going from that point of view, taking the experience along with him to give the boys more confidence. I know he's got like quite a bit of a coaching role within the players, which maybe is a good thing. But for me, when you're trying to build a team, I would definitely have an Akker in there, give him a shot. Bongi had fitness issues last weekend, so that was a question mark. I'd still rate the guy, but yeah. So this pretty much my only question on it. People are complaining about Gio Aplon. Look what Cheslin Colby did. He's come back and proved a point. Aplon is actually one of the players I feel has been quite unfortunate in his Springbok career, because I think he had a lot of talent within him, and when he was playing for the Stormers in Province, I felt that was the time he should have become a Springbok, because he was sharp, he was quick. But unfortunately, with Willie Leroux being head of the fullback position, he didn't get much game time. So I'm going to be curious to see what it's going to be like. Again, experience overseas might be a good factor to see what we can do. So I'm interested to see how that's going to play out, and if he brings in an impact, because that's the point. These boys are going to want to put their hands up and show that they want to play World Cup rugby. Otherwise, they're not going to have a chance at all. They need to show up now. For me, another question mark was Papier being selected. I would have rather had Kobus Reinach. Reason being, Papier didn't even make the starting lineup for the Bulls. Van Zyl did. I'm happy to see Van Zyl in the squad, as well as Schroeder from the Sharks. So those are good picks for me. But Papier, if you don't make the bench, how can you make international level? That's my question. Maybe I'm the only one there, but for me, I just don't see the reasoning behind that. On that, I would have gone with Reinach. He's got experience overseas. The man wants to play for the Boks. And for me, as a World Cup player, with the experience he has, with how he's been around and the length of time he's been around, I would have taken him as a senior in and given him some experience or some game time to play against England or any other team. France, he's going to be an epic encounter. Wales, he will show up and give some boost that the Springboks need. So for me, I would have had him in, but alas, Russie didn't have him in. Overall, I'm happy with the team. Just those 4-5 question marks that I have, but other than that, the other players are there for a reason. I'm so happy for Sergio Peterson playing for the Boks. I really hope he gets a fixture. I think that man deserves his position within the squad. He's played hard, he's shown up, he's played so well for Province, he played well for the Cheetahs, he played well for the Kings, and it's about time he's selected. So for me, I'm ecstatic, and I can't wait to see what Russie selects Thursday evening. Obviously, you're going to see this Thursday evening, but I'm recording it on Wednesday as I have other commitments on Thursday. So for me, I'm very curious to see what gets selected. Please excuse the dogs. I do not know why they bark. It's the neighbours' dogs. So, prediction time. Who is going to win this weekend? I think it's going to obviously start off with a bang. We're going to have a close encounter between the two teams. It's going to be tight, it's going to be strong, it's going to be hard-hitting, it's going to be passionate. Obviously, South Africa missing a few star quality players because of the stupid international rule or rugby playing rule. So it's going to be tough. No Faf de Klerk, which is sad, but I think they've got the capability of beating England if they just keep their cool, play a full-on 80-minute game, stay going strong, end it strong. I want to see attack on the start. I want to see them play it. England and Eddie Jones knows our way. Eddie Jones says the play of beating the Springboks is simple. He knows the game. Now Russie must do the total opposite and shock him and bring in different strategies so we can capitalize on England. For me, it's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight. England obviously going to go in as favourites, being home territory. But I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to pick South Africa to win by 5 points. I think they have the capability of doing it. 5 points or more. I think they have the strength. They definitely have the team. They definitely have the coaching staff. So why the hell not? England are wounded. They're going to be in a little negative-ish state, I think. So South Africa need to capitalise, show up, prove a point, and pick up a win. If not, I'll be upset, disappointed, but for me this one is an important one to kickstart the November Internationals. Put our names on the map and show the world that we are here to stay and we are improving for a reason. And to all the haters out there, the Boks are indeed back. So let's hope they can pick it up. So for me, prediction, Springboks by 5 points. should be an epic game. So that's going to do it for today's prediction, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed so you can keep up to date with all future rugby uploads. So much more to come. Recaps of the games, so make sure you are subscribed. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe, enjoy the game, and never give up. Cheers.